name is André. I'm from Ernst Young. I'm here today to talk about after mining ends, the power that a good planning can have on cities regarding the matter of mining. First, just make some introduction. So we are, AUI sometimes is thought about as auditing company only, but because we are one of the big four, but we have a very strong branch of consultancy, and we work through several service lines. We range from tax, engineering, economics, government, finance, and on and on. And in each single one of them, we have mining experts. So in 2021, we created the Mining Center of Excellence, which now has over 200 people in LATAM, and we work to create a single and a structure to have a clear message to the mining companies, created partnerships with several companies, service technical data providers such as Hexagon, it's a very important partner of ours. We have also some capabilities. We hired people from different perspectives, geologists, mining engineering. So we have a broad range of technical experts in-house, and also we have partners that are experts in several fields, so we can provide a complete service to our clients in partnerships and with our local capabilities. So that's who we are. And we also have other branches. I'm specific from the economic advisory team, but I'm going to skip this one to expedite things today. And I would like to move forward with the topic of our presentation, and to recapture, to talk about something that we were discussing yesterday, about the importance that a mining company can have in the city, and what mining companies, what can be done to improve cities to deal with all the facts that are brought by mining activities. So here in this, first I would like to put some data, some numbers into what I was talking about. So if you take into consideration that mining is not a single operation, but you have to hire input, you have to hire people, and this will lead to other companies making production, hiring people, making production, and so on. The economic overall effect of the mining is much bigger than its own production. Mining is going to have over 3 times the production. Here's data from Brazil. The production will increase, total production increase much more than only the mining production. It's going to have tax collection. We're going to have jobs creation for every million reais in production, something like 20 jobs created. So if you have a $1 billion production, you're going to have 20,000 people, jobs created. And with that, income is going to increase as well, and GDP also, everything is going to be favored. But that's not the only thing that's important to highlight. When you take a deep look into the municipality, we observe that we're creating jobs, but the most well-paid jobs are related to mining, because the mining activity will increase local retail, local hospitality services, but they usually are less productive, with wages ranging from, here just to explain, we are this distribution of wage from workforce in the city, and we can see that people were making up to 2 minimum wages. There are almost no one from mining activity, but it's the large basis from the other employments in the city. When you take a look at people making more than 5 minimum wages, it's mostly coming from the mining activity. And this is not just to say, okay, you're paying well. No, this reflects productivity. This reflects the fact that you are bringing to the city some kind of labor that they didn't have before. So what we're discussing here is that this shows that the municipality has an opportunity to transform itself based on the income, based on all the wealth that mining can bring to them. But that to make this transformation is not an easy task, because there are several questions that can make, especially when you think that once the mining leaves, all this benefit will go away. So how do we take advantage during this time mining is there to make the city flourishes, instead of when the mining leaves, they are going to have in a tough spot, with a tough situation. And to do so, to be totally honest, when we present this, many people say, okay, that's not feasible. How can we make a city, a small city, transform itself. There are so many challenges facing the city. They don't have a developed labor market. I have difficulty having people, my people there, how are we going to develop labor market? They don't have a strong internal demand, so if somebody goes there, who are they going to sell to? They are far from the most important centers, economic centers, and they are not structured. The municipalities, they don't have the structure to transform this opportunity into something bigger. Because there's something that we need to always remind, that we are talking about, at most cases, small cities with small city problems. Then out of the sudden, see the population increasing a lot, and they have to worry about many new problems. They become swamped with this day-to-day confusion, and how can you stop everything and plan the long term if you don't have the staff, if you don't have the mindset focus on that? So is it possible? Our experience, and we believe that yes, it is possible, but we have to organize this by step in order to achieve some results. So we like to take this approach of the now, next, and beyond approach to organize how the city can benefit. This is one possible strategy that we have been implemented, and the idea here is that the one competitive advantage all mining companies have is the mining company, the cities. The mining activity is the competitive advantage they have. So you have to explore this to initiate this process of transformation. So if we try to develop the economy as much as we can based on mining, might be a good first step. So one possible way to do so is try to attract mining company suppliers. Suppliers, they have a natural interest to be closer to their clients, save them a lot of problems. So it might be a first step. This can help develop a little more the labor market. This can help the city have more solutions for other industries. Then we go to the next step, when we try to create a new competitive advantages for the city, when we try to attract new industries for the city. So if we're talking here about a city next to the rural area, it would be natural to think, okay, maybe some companies from agriculture, livestock might be interesting to come into here. We have been speaking with some companies, and they show interest, and they say, okay, my problem to move there is that I lack the infrastructure, and I lack labor, and I lack suppliers. Okay, but suppliers we are trying to fix in step one, because most of the mining suppliers, they can also supply to other industries. They already do, in most cases, supply to other industries. So this can create the basis to attract new industries. And as economy develops, it might give this virtual cycle to move towards development. But that wouldn't be enough. So we need to help to attract labor, qualified labor. And maybe we can use funds from tax collection coming from mining to try to use it as incentives for labor to be attracted and retained in the city. So this is what might also be an interesting strategy. So we can use these resources to attract people. We can use the mining to attract companies and try to develop these new competitive advantages to the city. And when you have this dynamic going on, the market has the powerful and very beautiful way to resolve itself. So if the idea is to create a city that's dynamic enough so that the market can develop new solutions. And when this becomes to be true, then the city can find a path towards its development, and this without depending that much from the mining. So this is a way, a strategy, a chronogram that we can think about, the macro idea of how to do it. But, okay, but how can we, what solutions can we implement in order to achieve such ideas? So we present here only 4 of them, but of course there are many more. We discussed yesterday about future uses. I'm not talking about this today. I'm let Gustavo talk about this if he wants to. But we present here 4. The first one that I'd just like to mention is the industrial condominium that can be built in the city. And what would this be for? The mining companies can help the suppliers go to the city. But if you try to put all the suppliers into the city in an unorganized way, you are going to bring some new difficulties for the city, because they can be spread out in the city. This will disorganize the city's population, and the need to supply infrastructure for each one of them might be hard. And with a condominium, this industrial condominium, you can supply the basic infrastructure for all of them. So this might be a plus side for the companies wanting to move there. This might help the city organize its local activities, its urban activities in the center, and can be also very important in terms of ESG, because we can have structures that focus on waste treatment, on water supply, of the quality that companies need, and also have things like training centers for the employees, the common employees, with the common technical background needed by the industries, like the companies that are present in the condominium. So this condominium is not the solution, but it might be a kicking start, a first step towards that. There's a second thing that can be done, and this, I just mentioned, this is something that the municipality has a very important part. They will have to lead most of the conversation, but they are not equipped at times to think about the solution. So there's space to support them into this. There's a second thing that we think is very much important, and it's to reform laws, to create incentives, to make the market work better. And a way to do so is with the master plan revision. We have been working with master plans, and to be totally honest, most of them doesn't help. They range from not doing anything to harnessing the city, because they are thought also about, okay, how can I tell you how the city should be? And that's not how things work. The capitalists show that you have to let the market work many of the problems. So you have to have a master plan that you can take advantage of market instruments to attract capital, private capital, in order to promote many of the solutions that you have. And the public sector should manage public areas. So there's a lot of discussions here. But when we go through the municipality, sometimes the population, they have a different perspective. For some reason, they don't like buildings, so they want houses, and we heard that, because houses are fun, so we want houses. But a city only with houses, they become too spread, and to deliver infrastructure to all of them cost much more. If you can manage to build a more dense, more compact city with a better planning of how to implement commerce and how to use economic activity to promote safety, to promote health services, and so on and on. This will reduce costs for the municipality. This will improve the life quality of the citizens. So this is a very powerful way to promote a city with a plan, with laws that will incentivize the private sector to move towards the right direction. And I might say that during our work, we compared what the actions possible with a master plan, and in regards to the UN Sustainable Development Goals. And a good master plan can help all 17 of the goals, because we can improve with this master plan the social impacts, we can improve environmental, but we can also improve the economics, because it has to be financially feasible to do all of this. Sometimes plans, okay, I want to build a Disneyland here in the city. It's not possible. So we have to be, the planning has to make sense. So a master plan can help in doing so. There's a third solution. It's quite often thought about, okay, we are talking about municipalities that are near nature, they have waterfall, they have trekking, so let's make tourism happen. And this tourism activity will will save the economic development. And that's not quite true. No, tourism will not be sufficient, not close to replace the mining activity. We're talking about tourism here. We're talking about people making low wages and low productivity. We've compared, for instance, Bonito, that is a city in Brazil that has a A lot of tourism that is regarded as a tourism center. They have less than 20,000 people in population, and when you take a look into mining companies, mining cities, they have much more than that. So tourism is not going to save the day. But tourism might be a very important strategy towards making the city more attractive to everyone. Because, well, we are in Vegas. So the importance of having fun, the importance of have good restaurants, or have things to do is very important. This is important to attract and retain labor in the city. If a mining company were to stop working here close to Las Vegas, and we were to ask who wants to move to operation near Las Vegas, everybody, many people would raise their hands and even agree to cut their wages to be here. But if you were talking about moving to a city that has poor amenities, it's not the case. So a tourism plan should be thought about as a strategy to make the city better, prettier, more interesting, and this will help flourish the labor market. As I mentioned yesterday, we can think about the economy a lot as a big labor market, and tourism can help labor people want to work in this city. And all of this comes with challenges, and the challenges to improve infrastructure. So the ideal thing is to make the city grow, but in a compact way. But regardless of the way the city increases, it will increase inside. The social demand for infrastructure and social equipment is going to increase a lot. And most of the times, municipalities aren't equipped to do this expansion in the most effective way. So to support city in the development of this infrastructure, in the development of the best way of hiring, expanding, to use less of public resources and maximize the participation of private investors, it's very important. So this is another possible way of improving the city's quality. So these 4 examples here, they are all ways that we can imagine a better city that can help improve a city without actually having to do the work for the municipality. We can help the city understand what's important, because if you are only focused on the day-to-day and you have a great stream of revenue and tax collections increases, you won't use this in the better and most efficient way. And this, with strategies like these ones that we are presenting, we believe that we can help the municipality have a true way to find development and to make the city be better off after the mining leaves in comparison to how it was before the mining went there. Because, as I mentioned yesterday, there is no choice to simply go back to the way things were before the mining activity began in the city. So that's what we had for today. Thank you for Hexagon for the invitation. Thank you for watching. And if you have any questions, I'm available to talk with you later.